This is LoveHacks Book 1, Chapter 3. When Mark disappears into the city nightlife, can the rest of the gang team up to find him? He disappears. Chapter 3. 3 SF spots to visit before you die. Okay. Now playing as Danny, you look around the bar in disbelief at Cole, Horatio, Serena, and Brooke. Let me get this straight. None of you like Mark's girlfriend? Oh, I forgot about this. That's an understatement. Come on, she can't be as bad as the awful girl Mark dated in college. Her name was Amy. Ahem. How am I gonna get out of this? You turn to find Mark and Amy right behind you. Danny, you remember Amy? We, dated in college. It sounds like she remembers, Mark. I'm just that awful. Amy, no, you misunderstood. Waffle girl? Maybe lawful. I said lawful girl. Weren't you pre-law? Really? Is that gonna work? Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah, I can't believe you remembered. Me neither. Let's just grab a drink, huh, Ames? Mark takes a seat, and Amy follows suit. She turns to Horatio with a smile. I'll take a Manhattan, please. Actually, Horatio's shift is over. It's fine, Brooke. Mixology is my craft, and I'm happy to share it with a friend. Of a friend. Horatio grabs a bottle of vermouth and a bottle of blended whiskey, but before he can pour a single drop, Amy interrupts. Actually, a real Manhattan would use rye whiskey. It's not before it was cool. Cool. But you can't go wrong with a classic, right? Oh, I see why they don't like you. Right, but I just found the spirit from a great little distillery in San Ramon. It lends itself well to the... You know what? I can just make it myself. I have particular tastes. Amy slips behind the counter. Actually, the back of the bar is something of a sanctuary for me. It's fine. Have I told you that I used to be a bartender? Only repeatedly. Guys, wait. I just insulted her, though. Horatio, can you just humor her this once? I'm sure one drink wouldn't hurt. Sure, I'll just go somewhere else in my mind. Not unlike prisoners resisting torture. Oh, you guys and your jokes. Amy starts rummaging through the bottles behind the counter. Cole leans over and whispers to you. Danny, don't encourage her. Sorry. After mixing her drink to her liking, Amy returns to the proper side of the counter and sits in Mark's lap. Oh, okay. I guess this is happening. Amy wraps her arm around Mark's neck. So, Serena, how's school going? Have you figured out what you want to do? I'm a grad student, Amy, not some undeclared freshman. Getting my master's degree is what I want to do. Well, you're young. You've still got time to figure things out. And when you want to decide on an actual career, you should really consider law. I could put in a word for you at my firm. How did she make it to being a lawyer, don't people have to like you? And become a soulless corporate lackey? Tempting. Oh, and did you ever give Carol a call? You two would be so cute together. Much as I appreciate your meddling in my love life, she's not my type. But you both like, well, you know, the same things. You mean we both like girls? My type isn't just lesbian, you know. I'm sure Amy's just trying to help, in her own misguided way. That's right, Serena. It's a good thing you have someone as motherly as Brooke looking out for you. Wait, motherly? Whoa. Um, I mean, I don't actually think being called motherly is that bad, but I think in this... I guess I'll... Yeah, I don't know. Even I can tell that's a line you don't cross. Too far, Amy. You might as well wrap her in a shawl and call her Granny. Mark tries to extricate himself from Amy's embrace, but she presses closer to him. Amy, maybe we should excuse ourselves? Call it a night? But Mark lowers his voice, but you can still hear every word. Amy, come on, we talked about this. Let's not do this here in front of my friends. No, let's. After all, our fights are always about you picking your friends over me. I guess I shouldn't be surprised now that she's back. Amy shoots you a withering glare. Well, now I regret standing up for you. You think Mark is choosing us over you? I mean, I don't think it's like an either-or situation. That's not true. You're just overreacting. I'm overreacting? I'm overreacting? I'm overreacting? I don't know how to respond to that. Amy stands up and grabs her purse. I'm not doing this. Not with her. Amy turns on her heel and walks away without a backward glance. Of course she doesn't pay for that Manhattan. Mark, I didn't mean... It's fine. It's just, with all this drama, I'm having flashbacks of college. And it's not the good, drunken kind of flashbacks. I just need to go clear my head. I'll catch up to you guys another time, yeah? Before you can say another word, Mark leaves. What was that? Another return of the Mark and Amy show, guest starring Danny. If you enjoyed that, be sure to stop by next week for another showing, same time, same place. Should we maybe go after Mark? Normally, I'd say let him go, but tonight is different. Tonight he's entering pattern 3. The others nod their heads knowingly. What is pattern 3? Mark's a creature of routine. I've lived with him for a long time. I know every single one of his idiosyncratic habits, whether I want to or not. I've catalogued no less than 9 of these patterns. Pattern 3 is when Mark goes off on long bouts of introspection and soul-searching. If left unchecked, it can last for weeks. Oh my god. You're right, he does do that? I've never been able to put it into words, but you're so right. That sensation you're feeling right now, better get used to it. So, where do we find Mark? Hard to say. He's probably roaming the city. Last time he was like this, he ended up visiting the sea lions at Pier 39. 7 days in a row. Don't worry, I know just where to start the search. Now playing as Cole. You lead your friends down the street to the 404 lounge. Here we are. You think Mark went soul-searching at a club? One may argue that there is no soul at all here. Guys, this is one of Mark and Amy's favorite date spots. Of course, most nights is an indie rock venue. You push open the doors. Bright, pulsing lights and thumping Latin music assail you as you survey the packed dance floor. But I guess they've started hosting Latin music nights. Not that I'm complaining. Let's just focus on finding Mark. You're right, I should canvass the dance floor and ask if these hot people have seen him. You do that. As Danny begins to protest, you saunter away into the crowd. Who do you dance with? Does the red mean she's angry, or... Then I'm gonna go with the guy, just in case. Wait, hot, mean-looking girl. I'm gonna do, stylish guy with nice hair. You make contact with a well-dressed man who flashes you a small smile as you dance up to him. Hey, I'm guessing you're from out of town. Los Angeles. Is it obvious? I've got a sixth sense for this sort of thing. I'm looking for a man. Cut straight to the chase much? Always. But in this instance, I'm actually just looking for my roommate, Mark. White guy, plaid shirt, techie type. Sweetie, this is San Francisco. You can't swing your arms without bumping into a white techie. Good point. But if you do find him, call me. The man smiles and exchanges numbers with you. Full disclosure, I'm married to my job, but if you're ever looking for a man in LA, give me a call. I'm great with missing persons. Will do. Ahem. Hate to break up the love connection, but it looks like this place is a bust. Also, I've been hit on by 9 different creepy guys. I think they smell my fear. Oh god. We should probably look somewhere that's anywhere but here. I know exactly where we should go next. Now playing as Horatio. You lead the way toward a quaint taqueria in the heart of San Francisco. All roads lead to El Gruyense Taqueria. Trust me, everyone, these tacos are worth the wait. I just hope Mark turns up. As you wait in line to order, you notice a troubled look on Danny's face. Danny, I've been meaning to ask you something. Have Mark's girlfriends always been like this? Why is Amy so hostile toward you? She wasn't always. I actually met her before I knew Mark. We had a class together freshman year. She was fine then. But all of a sudden, I was best friends with her boyfriend, and I guess she's been jealous ever since. Could it be that the feeling is mutual? Yeah, she's not exactly my favorite person. Wait, were you asking if the hostility is mutual, or the jealousy? Both good questions to ask. Danny blushes, flustered, before changing the subject. Hey, why would Mark come here anyway? Is this his favorite restaurant or something? Oh, I never said Mark would be here. I just said I know where we should go next. This place has the best al pastor in the city. Horatio? Okay, but consider this. I'm just really hungry. I just worked a double shift. I need food. That's the most unpoetic thing I've ever heard you say. We are, all of us, only human. And back to poetry. What the hell? I guess a break couldn't hurt. A dozen tacos later, the 5 of you sit chewing your food, silently content. All is right with the world. Anyone else have guesses on where Mark might go? Brooke and Serena exchange a knowing look. We do. Some scenes will give you a choice of different characters to play as. Choose one now. Brooke or Serena? Let's try Brooke. I don't know. Random. You open the door to your apartment, letting your friends in. Come in, make yourselves at home. Brooke, why are we at your apartment? We gave Mark an extra key so he could house sit when we went to Coachella. Sometimes he comes by to crash when his apartment is, occupied. Brooke means when I have a lover over. Please don't say lover again. Ever. As the others file past you and into the apartment, Serena pulls you aside. So the plan is clear, right? As we look for Mark, we make sure Danny sees how great this apartment is. Then boom, new roomie. That's really devious. The 2 of you join the others in the living room. Brooke, it doesn't look like Mark came by. Are you sure? Have you looked out the window? I know there's a gorgeous view of the city, but maybe you can catch sight of Mark, too. Nope. Maybe you should look over here inside one of our ample walk-in closets. Okay, that's enough. Brooke, I know you want me to move in, but this won't. Holy crap, this is a big closet. You could fit a small boutique in here. Yeah, I cried when I first saw it. Okay, this conversation is worth revisiting, but after we find Mark. Does anyone know where else he might have gone? Well, you've seen our suggestions. At this point, you might have the best idea, Danny. Actually, I think you're right. Follow me. Now playing as Danny. You lead the way to the top of Twin Peaks. You pause, taking in the view. Pretty. Wow. So, where's he at? His favorite spot is right there. You point to an isolated bench at the end of a walkway and find Mark sitting, looking wistfully over the city. Danny, how did you know he'd be here? Back in college, it's where he'd sneak off to write in his poetry journal. Mark wrote poetry? You did not hear that from me. Anyway, can I talk to him on my own first? The friends exchange a look. Be our guest. Mark doesn't look up as you approach. He takes a swig of his flask, then wordlessly offers it to you. You take a sip of the whiskey as you sit down next to him. I can see why you like the spot so much. It's beautiful. Mark still doesn't respond. Hey, I'm sorry about earlier, Mark. I wasn't trying to upset Amy, and I feel like your fight was kind of my fault. My fault. It's okay, and it's not your fault. These issues with Amy have come up before, even when you were in New York. It'll be fine once I go apologize. Is that really what you want to do? What do you mean? Well, she should be meeting you halfway. Even in college, you always had to be the one to apologize. But relationships are about balance, compromise. Shouldn't she say she's sorry every once in a while? Maybe. You pass the flask back to Mark and he takes a long sip. Look, Danny, you don't have to stay. I know I'm not the most fun to be around when I'm in a funk. You mean pattern 3? I'm told it sometimes lasts for weeks. Where did you hear about... Damn it, Cole. We've all got our patterns. We've all got different sides to us. Well, I didn't want you to see this side of me. Mark, I've already seen every side of you, remember? The very first time we met, you were, whoa, completely naked. Find out what happened in the first time Mark and Danny meet in this exclusive flashback scene. Oh man. Let's do this. I remember the day like it was yesterday. Oh boy, you're gonna be all dramatic about this, aren't you? Absolutely. It was 8 long years ago, and we were but wee babies. "8 years earlier. It's the start of spring semester, freshman year. You're sitting in the lecture hall, eagerly awaiting the professor's arrival. I should. Double check I have everything I need again. You search through your bag, mentally checking off each item. Laptop, check. Laptop power cord, check. Backup notebook, check. Suddenly, the lecture hall doors burst open with a bang, and a stream of naked guys rush in. Okay. Oh. The guys run down the aisles, amidst laughter and cheers from the students in the hall. After a triumphant lap through the room, they jog out through the exit. Except for one guy who stops right by your row. Wait, is this Professor Vasquez's lecture on American Lit? Okay, full disclosure, I've played the freshman, so this is the same universe as the freshman. Cool. Yeah, it is. Awesome. Okay. The guy slips into the row behind you and takes his seat. Those seats are not clean. Isn't part of streaking, running away? Yeah, sure, normally. But I really can't afford to fail this class. I've got to at least stick around and sign the attendance sheet. Okay. Sign the attendance sheet? With what? I don't suppose I could borrow a pen? Sure. Okay, I have to ask. Do you work out? Why are you naked? Because of a dare. Word of advice? Don't ever lose a bet at a sorority party. I had no plans to. He extends his hand to you, smiling. The professor is going to notice that you're not wearing clothing and trying to sign his attendance sheet. Mark. Danny. Just then, the professor walks in. What in the world? Get out! I think that's my cue. Guess I may fail this class after all. I can send you my notes. Really? Sure thing, here's my number. Yeah, write it on his hand. He's not going to be able to read it. You grab Mark's hand and scribble your number on his palm. Looks like I won't be washing my hand anytime soon. Ahem. I'll call you later. You reminisced about meeting Mark. You smile at Mark and he smiles back. See, I knew I could break you out of pattern 3 in no time. I can't believe Cole's told you about these stupid patterns. I'm gonna kill him. I heard my name. I'm so flattered that you gossip about me when I'm not around. The rest of the group joins you and Mark by the bench. Serena snatches the flask and takes a swig. More like talking about all the ways I'm going to get my revenge. They say turning the other cheek is the most unexpected response. A vengeance he'd never see coming. Guys, I'm right here. Personally, I found that ignoring him can be particularly effective. Serena reaches over Cole to hand Brooke the flask. Ha ha, very funny. Did you guys hear something? Like a voice dancing on the wind. Nope, I don't hear anything. I think you might be imagining things, Horatio. Okay, seriously, this is not funny. I beg to differ. Wait a second, Mark smiling? He's back to pattern 1. I repeat, he's back to pattern 1. That has to be the fastest recovery time ever. This calls for a group hug? Seriously? Hell yeah! You wrap your arms around Mark and Horatio as Brooke pulls Cole and Serena into the hug from the other side. Too tight. This is such a touching moment. I won't judge anyone for crying right now. You're the only one crying, Brooke. Just then, Mark's phone buzzes. Don't tell me. It's Amy. She's apologizing for earlier. She wants to talk things out. Seriously? She never apologizes. That's exactly what Danny said. But here it is, an actual apology. It's got to be a sign. Maybe